No one leaves Midvale after midnight. Midvale didn't appear on most maps. The highways curved around it as if by design, and GPS signals always seemed to fail near the town's edge. Most people never noticed it. Those who did rarely remembered it. But every now and then, someone stumbled in, usually by accident, and even more rarely, someone tried to leave. That's when things got strange. Jake Holloway arrived in Midvale on a stormy October evening. His car, a rusted-out Corolla with a cracked windshield, had broken down just outside town. Stranded and soaked, he found his way to the nearest building, a diner called the Blue Lantern. Inside, the place glowed with neon warmth, all chrome stools and faded jukebox songs. A waitress named Marnie poured him coffee without asking. She didn't look surprised to see him. In fact, no one in the diner did. "You came in after dark," Marnie said, stirring. Lights burned in windows, but there were no voices, no motion. Even the wind had vanished. Jake walked toward his car. It sat exactly where he left it, but the engine was stone cold and the key refused to turn. Then he heard it. A low hum, distant, rhythmic, unnatural. It came from the woods beyond the town's edge, pulsing like a heartbeat. He followed it. The trees loomed like cathedral pillars, their branches intertwining high above, choking out the moonlight. The hum grew louder, layered with whispers, dozens of voices murmuring in unison, though no one was visible. Suddenly, he stumbled upon an old stone archway, half buried in moss. Strange runes glowed faintly along its frame. In its center was only darkness, so black it seemed to pull the air around it inward. Jake reached out instinctively. Before his fingers touched the void, a hand grabbed his shoulder. "Marnie." "You don't want to go through there," Marnie whispered, her voice trembling. Jake, confused, asked, "What is this? What the hell is going on in this town?" She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she stared at the archway with wide, fearful eyes and said, "That's the exit, but no one leaves Midvale after midnight. Not really." Jake, puzzled, asked, "What do you mean, not really?" She looked at him and said, "They come back wrong, or they don't come back at all." Back at the diner, over a fresh cup of coffee, Marnie told him everything. Marnie explained, Midvale wasn't just a town. It was a pocket, a fold in space and time, accidentally created long ago by something ancient and sleeping beneath the town. People who entered were sometimes meant to find it. Most weren't. She continued seriously, the only rule, was simple. Never try to leave after midnight. Because that's the rule. The only rule was simple. Never try to leave after midnight. Because that's when the town shifted. From midnight to dawn, Midvale wasn't fully in our world anymore. It existed somewhere between reality and something else. And during those hours, the exit, the stone arch, opened. But stepping through it didn't guarantee escape. It only guaranteed change. Some came back speaking languages no one had ever heard. Some returned with blank eyes, unable to recognize their own families. Others never returned. Jake listened, skeptical. "This is insane." "I thought so too," Marnie said, "until I left." She rolled up her sleeve. Her arm bore strange, shimmering scars, like circuitry or veins of glowing silver. "I wasn't human for a while. I don't think I fully am anymore." Jake sat in stunned silence. The next night, Jake stood before the arch again. Marnie had begged it to wait until dawn, but something in him refused. He had to know, had to see what lay beyond. As the clock struck 12, the arch pulsed with light. The black void shimmered like liquid obsidian. Jake took a deep breath and stepped through. He fell. Not through space, but through existence. His mind stretched across impossible geometries, his body folding into itself, his memories rewriting in real time. He glimpsed fragments of infinite versions of Midvale, burning cities, mirror worlds, oceans made of glass, skies with two suns. Then nothing. Darkness. He awoke in his car, engine running, radio playing softly, morning sun pouring through the windshield. Midvale was gone. Jake blinked, stunned. The road ahead was clear. GPS showed a nearby interstate. Birds chirped. Everything was normal. He laughed in disbelief. But when he looked in the rearview mirror, his reflection wasn't smiling. It wasn't even his. The eyes were a different color. The face had slight, impossible asymmetries. It looked like him, but not quite. Then the reflection leaned forward on its own, smiled, and whispered, "No one leaves Midvale after midnight.